over time, this perception has come about by no individual, but it's just been built over time that, that hospices are a place to go to die. It's a death sentence.
Sarah,
welcome to It's a Death Sentence.
we've had the pleasure of talking to you on and off for what seems like quite a while. It's got to be a year, hasn't it? We've obviously done some stuff with the other members of staff here, but we have never met you until today, so we're very excited. I think it'd be really good if we hand over to you, so if you can just tell our viewers and listeners who you are, where you are, and what you do.
So thank you so much for coming over to visit us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. So I'm Sarah. I look after all of the marketing and communications here. I've worked here at Primrose for nearly 5 years. And so what we do here at Primrose Hospice is look after people who have been diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, and we also look after families as well that either have a family member with a life-limiting illness or they're going through a bereavement themselves.
Because I think a lot of people, they think when they hear the word hospice, we've talked about this, and a few of the people we've talked to, they automatically think it's just somewhere to come and die. Yeah. They don't think of the other things that are amazing services that you have here.
Tell us about the services that actually happen here in the day hospice. Is this how you refer to it? Do you refer to it as day hospice or family hospice?
Yeah, so over in this side of the building where we're sat now is what is called our clinical services, and within that we have day hospice, and then we have physiotherapy, we have living well support groups, all sorts of different things go on over here. But as you said, when you say the word hospice to people just automatically, it's like they shut down because, over time, this perception has come about, by no individual, but it's just been built over time that, that hospices are a place to go to die. And, in one sense of the word, yes, some hospices, you do die in a hospice sometimes. You would never experience that here at Primrose Hospice because we don't have beds here. So we're a day hospice and then a family support centre. So there is an end-of-life ward in Bromsgrove, and it's called the Primrose Unit, and it's at the Princess of Wales Hospital. So it's called the Primrose Unit because when it was opened, we helped them open it by giving them some funding to open it because we obviously saw the need for that in Bromsgrove. But now it's completely NHS-led, ran, all the nurses and the staff there at NHS.
There's not a Primrose Association other than the name then now?
Other than the name, but we also do some of our family support teams, so some of our counsellors, our family support workers will go up there and talk with the families of the people that are on the ward there, help them process what's going on and what's going to happen in the future. So we still have that connection there. And then some of the patients that come into our day hospice, they may well end up on the ward. So we sort of help with referrals in that sense. And then we sometimes get referrals from families who have had relatives on the unit and then they need some bereavement support. So sometimes it's a whole circle thing.
It's like continuity, isn't it, between one and the other.
So in one sense, yes, we don't have a connection, but we do at the same time. We work in collaboration, and the palliative care consultant that is on the ward up there, they will come down and do sessions with our patients here and talk about wording, things that they don't quite understand, or things that their GP have said to them, or other healthcare professionals, and they're not quite sure, but they don't know how to ask. So it's like an open forum, basically, a safe space for them to talk about those things.
So who can access services here at the day centre?
Yeah, so in day hospice, and this is the same for family support, you have to be registered with a Bromsgrove or Redditch GP. And then for both sides of support. You can self-refer in, so you can do that through our website. We just have a simple form that you fill out, or you can literally just pick up the phone and say...
So it's nice and easy then?
Yeah, so
Not to come,
easy.
it doesn't have to come via a GP?
No,
or
it
a healthcare?
can do.
Yeah.
So we have lots of referrals via GPs and other healthcare professionals, but if you yourself have been diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, or you've got friends or family or caring for somebody, you can just pick up the phone and say, I'm in this situation, how can you help me? And then, so the first person you'll speak to is our receptionists, who are just absolutely lovely. They're all volunteers. And then they will arrange for that person to speak to our clinical nurse specialist or one of the family support team, depends what kind of support that you need. And then they'll arrange things like assessments and visits and things like that. But we always encourage people to come and visit us here. We're open Monday to Friday all day, so people can literally come up, have a look around, get a feel of the hospice. So if they're not sure, like we were talking about, if they're a bit apprehensive, then at least they can come and just see what it's like. And that's one of the main things I try and do in my job. Like, obviously massive part of my job is letting people know what we do here and the support that they can receive. And that, you've been here now and you've seen and heard the atmosphere. That's really hard to get across.
It's like pure joy walking through the door.
Yeah,
Everybody is so lovely.
The last lady just said it's like receiving a hug when you walk in the door.
Yeah,
it is exactly that.
Absolutely. Every single person we've come in contact with has been delightful.
Yeah.
And warm, happy, warm.
Yeah.
Interested, caring. I can't give it any more superlatives. It was fantastic.
So
also a bit like the physicality of the building when you come in. It's a bright space. It's a big, nice big open space. There's nothing like oppressive. I think maybe people have got this association again with the word that it's going to be wards and it's going to be kind of
very
dark,
hospital
clinical. But it's not. It doesn't have that feel at all.
Yeah, and even though we don't have beds here, if you visit other hospices that do have beds, they're also really warm, really welcoming. It doesn't feel like a hospital. It's not cold, because they're all aiming for people just to, be comfortable, have the best, care at the end of their life, because that's collectively, as hospices around the country, that's what we're aiming for. So,
and the one word I must say that I've got from speaking to the people who access the services here, who've all been lovely, is life, not death. And they've all been so positive in talking about what quality of life Primrose has given them. And it's not just about the negative of you're going to die. It's what can we do to make you enjoy life, what you've got left, enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the massive privilege of talking to quite a lot of the patients and the clients that we support here. And the amount of times I've heard someone say, Primrose Hospice is a lifeline, or Primrose Hospice saved my life, and it's just so lovely to work in a place like that where you're genuinely helping people, So I feel very lucky to work here.
So what is your journey to coming here? So you've been here 5 years?
Yeah, coming up to 5 years, I've been looking after all the marketing here. Before that, I've worked for a few different charities, all in marketing. But the main reason for me wanting to work for a hospice is because my mum was a nurse in an inpatient unit in a different hospice. She started working there, I think it was 2006. So I was about 13, I think, at the time. So, I was a teenager and, was concentrating on school and making friends and all of that sort of stuff. Obviously, I had no idea what hospices were at the time. She'd always been a nurse, but not in a hospice. She'd always worked in hospitals. And then obviously, after a bit of time, there's obviously, the confidentiality thing, like she couldn't talk directly about patients, but she would come home and explain what she'd been doing and, explain how important it is, that environment.
Yeah.
So then obviously, she was there for about 16 years, I think it was, before she retired. So that was quite a big chunk of my life, especially growing up, like in quite a, I was at an influential age, if you like, being a teenager and everything.
How did she, as you were a teenager, she was working in the industry where she's dealing with death.
Yeah.
How did she relate that to you? How did she talk to you about her having to deal with death on a day-to-day basis, presumably?
Yeah.
And you were a teenager at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in this.
Yeah. So she was always very open and honest, like she still is now. I wish she could have been able to come in and talk to you, actually, because she probably would have loved it. Because she just always made a point of being honest about everything and trying to speak openly about, your feelings or what you've got going on and things like that. And using the sort of specific language. That's one of the things that we do here. Obviously, you have to observe who you're talking to and the sort of language that you use. I know obviously you cover a lot of that, but we do try and avoid sometimes to use words like passed away or lost, especially loss and lost. We do try and sway away from that because it's, obviously over time people have just started, they've used those words all the time, don't they?
Yeah.
And we're trying to educate people around that.
Yeah.
But my mum was always, she always talked to my sister and myself very honestly about everything. And I think that shaped me as a person, really. A combination of her and me working here has made me so much more open to talking to people, even just like on the street or if we're events and things like that. I feel so much more confident if someone came up to me and said, my dad died 2 weeks ago and I don't know what to do. I'm not a qualified family support worker, but I feel like I would be able to empathise with them better now because I've had those experiences.
Yeah.
So I feel privileged in that sense, really. But yeah, my mum's the main reason why I wanted to work for a hospice, and
that's
why I'm
lovely.
still here. So
Maybe we'll get her
Inspirational.
on the pod at some point.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would come.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Amazing. So we now know how to refer into the service. What services are on offer here at Primrose?
Yeah, so through clinical services, we've got our day hospice, which is open Monday to Thursday. The patients come in and they do different things. We have a Living Well programme where they go through different things like advice about nutrition, falls prevention, but they'll also talk to them about things like funeral plans and how to talk to your family about what's going on.
Very, very practical, useful stuff.
Yeah, really practical stuff. Just, to help them live a better life in the time that they've got. So within clinical services, we also have our wonderful physiotherapist and our clinical nurse specialist who help patients either one-to-one or in a group setting, which is amazing. And then over in family support, we do bereavement counselling. We've got one-to-one support and group support for families. And then we also run lots of bereavement groups for different types of people. And we also have complementary therapy and Living Well groups that sit under our Living Well service.
Is that like the yoga and the Tai Chi and the Reiki?
Yeah, all of that sort of stuff. And then a big part of our family support is the support we provide for children as well. So we have a fantastic children's team who support children from around 5 all the way up to 18. So if they've got a family member who is poorly or they've just experienced bereavement, then we will support them. Usually that's one-to-one support, group support, again, in sort of like a counselling sort of style session. And then we do lots of kids groups. I was talking earlier about the explorations group, which is just
very
so
beautiful,
lovely.
garden setting.
Yeah, so the kids will head outside and do loads of stuff outside. And then we also have a teen group and another children's group as well. So it's really tailored. everything we do here is tailored to the people that we're supporting currently. Like if someone comes in and says, oh, I've got this problem, or, or I want to do this craft, or I want to do this, we'll always try and
to accommodate them.
That. Yeah. We have a lot of volunteers here. We literally wouldn't be here without our volunteers. We have
should we give them all a big shout out? Volunteers.
Big shout out to
how
all
many
of our
volunteers have you got?
About 400.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a heavy volunteers program.
But we need all of them.
And they're doing everything. So they're supporting with the activities, they're supporting with maintenance, presumably.
Yeah.
Doing the gardens.
Yeah,
cooking. We learned earlier as well. Somebody's here cooking the dinner.
Yeah. We literally have a role for everything here for volunteering. We especially rely on our shops volunteers. We have 4 charity shops across Bromsgrove and Redditch.
Yeah.
And they help with everything in the shops. Same with fundraising. We couldn't do our events without the volunteers. So
if somebody is listening to this and they're in the Worcestershire, Bromsgrove, Redditch area and they want to do some volunteering, how are they going to do that? What's the best route in? And what qualifications and things do you need?
So there's a few roles where you do need qualifications, like our counselling roles, but majority of the volunteer roles we have here, you don't need any qualifications. You just need to be good with people, have a smiley face, be friendly, and just want to give back, really. So the easiest way to do that is to go on our website, and you can see all of the roles that we've got available there.
Do your website, quick plug.
So it's primrosehospice.org.
Right, okay, wonderful.
Yeah, so you can apply online, it's really easy. And then Jo, our volunteer manager, she'll contact the person, get them in, get them DBS checked if they need that, and get the ball rolling.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's really easy. Yeah.
And actually, for a lot of young people or people at university, going to university, finishing university, these things on your CV are actually amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're really well looked upon by employers.
Yeah. So we have a lot of D.A.V. students come in, especially to the shops. Yeah. But then we find, because they love it, they stay on afterwards. They do their required hours, but then after then they'll stay on because they'll come back in the summer holidays and things like that. So it is lovely. Yeah.
And that leads us nicely onto the fundraising element. So presumably Primrose in its entirety, in everything that you do here, relies quite heavily on fundraising.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So we have to raise £1.95 million every year.
Wow. That is a lot of money.
That is a big amount.
Yeah.
And that's just presumably to keep all of this going.
Yeah, to keep the doors open, that is how much we have to raise. We get a small percentage of that from the government, so about 14% of it comes from the government, and then the rest of it we have to raise ourselves. So it's a huge feat, but we do it. And we do that through our shops and then fundraising as well. That's our 2 main income streams. We have a fantastic calendar of fundraising events throughout the year. Yeah. Orchard Fest is back this year. We had a break last year, but it's back at a different venue, bigger, lots of camping, lots of...
So what is it?
It's a local family-friendly festival, music festival.
Maybe we should go.
Yeah.
When is it this year?
It's the 21st and 22nd of August.
Okay, and where is it this year?
It's in Stoke Prior, so just down the road from here. Yeah, so people can come. We've got music on the Friday night, and then they can camp, and then we've got music pretty much all day on Saturday.
Amazing.
And they can camp on the Saturday night as well. So
those family festivals are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah.
Loads of fun.
And then we've got other events that go on throughout the year as well. One of our big ones is our Lights of Love campaign, which happens on the lead up to Christmas. So that campaign, I think it's in its 27th year this year. So it's quite a long campaign, which is amazing. And it's an opportunity for people to remember their loved ones. So it's very easy. You can either make a donation online or phone us up or fill out the form that we send out to people, and people will make a donation and then make a dedication in memory of their loved ones. So that can be a loved one's name. And then we will print all those names on a lovely display that goes around Christmas trees in the local area. And there's a beautiful online page where people can post photos and things like that of their loved ones. And it becomes, you know, like this special tribute wall, if you like, of memories. And we do that every year. So we will do that this year if people want to get involved. But yeah, there is so many different ways that people can get involved, you know, fundraising, volunteering, even just
donations.
Yeah.
I saw the little booth as I came in.
Yeah.
You can just click with your phone.
So if you're visiting the hospice and you want to make a donation, you can just tap in receptions. Or even if people are literally just having a clear out of home and they've got a bag of stuff, just drop it in to our charity shops. And don't forget to gift aid. That is what I always say to people.
Don't forget to gift aid. So if anybody wants to, so if they're in the Worcestershire area and they want to know about your fundraising events, is that all listed on your website and on your social media, presumably?
Yeah, all on the website and all on our social media. So yeah, just head to those places and all the information is there.
Amazing.
Thank you, Sarah, for coming, and it's been a pleasure that that we've been able to come for the day, because it's been gorgeous, hasn't it?
I do hope that we can continue to work together as well. I really do enjoy this connection. It's really good.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear listeners, for tuning into It's a Death Sentence. Please keep listening to our weekly episodes.
And if you like our show, please like, share and subscribe.
We are dying to talk to you.